We are the Nameless Travelers out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin here. We're here for the Riverwest Sessions. I want to give a shout out, thank Linneman's Riverwest Inn for hosting us here. And we're going to play some music for you.
Does he dream about the end of his life? Why does he dream to his pillow late at night? How should he feel when it doesn't feel alive? His last meal will be the mirror of his love, 40.
Thank you.
I am Jon Henry, and today, as part of the Riverwest Sessions, I will be interviewing the Nameless Travelers. I feel like several of you, all of you, you are in several bands, you know, more than one band. And so my question is, how did you come together as a group in this incarnation and decide that you wanted to have this kind of socially relevant, perhaps political vibe in this band?
If I may. Well, you know, Alex and I actually play together in another band, the Anytime Leslies, which is, it's a very different kind of band. I mean, we when we play, we do a lot of covers and we do a lot of original music, but it's all very timid, I think, in comparison. If we're playing, you should still come see us because we're a lot of fun. But
Different vibe, that's all.
yeah. But it's a completely different vibe, and I think we, I'm one of two primary songwriters in that band, and I just was writing a lot of stuff that I looked at the finished product or even an in progress kind of product, and I said we can't do this. This is our crowd would Let's put it this way: we play Washington County a lot.
Yeah.
So, this sort of vibe, this sort of message probably wouldn't win us too many fans with the demographic that we tend to play for. There's no hate or anything there, but it's just being realistic about needing another outlet for these sort of creative end results that I was coming to. Originally it was actually Anytime Leslie's as a 4-piece band. It was like 3 of us went on to say like, yeah, we really have the time and the drive to want to do something a little different. And then as sort of the songs I was writing became more and more overtly political, our bass player, who's a little different politically than us, was I just sat down, had a conversation with him, and said, hey, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable in this situation, and I know you're not 100% on board with the message behind it, and Jordan 100% was, and then we all got together and did a few rehearsals and felt like this was a good fit. Alex mentioned we have a saxophone player usually, and he was actually just an old roommate of mine, and he's out being a good capitalist now, and he's going to be a lot more monetarily successful than any of us probably. So. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm glad that you all came together like this.
I bribed the 2 of them. It's no happenstance.
He bought us euros and tacos.
Yeah, and he was in. Nice. No, I'm glad.
Well,
I'm glad.
musicians will work for food, right?
I know that this beauty is indeed. It's a hard life where you don't fit the mold. You're beautiful. Don't let 'em make you love it. You're beautiful, so don't never disappear. My dear. You're the true sign of the life we're mine. And I hope that you realize in time. You're the true sign of the life we'll see. And I hope that you find yourself and you're happy. You look good, but it doesn't mean nothing. It's a hard life where you don't fit the mold. It's a thin line. One that I hope you're not crossing. Don't let 'em get you down. It's hard to see things clear. My dear. lies a wet line. And I hope that you realize inside if you true segment of the lies we'll see. And I hope that you have found yourself and you're happy.
So you are the Nameless Travelers. Can you tell me how you came to have that name?
Yeah, I can answer that one. It's actually a very boring story because we were just struggling to figure out what to call ourselves. I think we had another name, but there was already a band with that name that we liked, so we were just like, we need a name. So we actually named it after my tattoo, which is a character from one of my favorite video games, Journey. And the character doesn't have a name. He's just a nameless traveler. People call him the Traveler, but I thought it was appropriate just because. So I mean, obviously I have a tattoo of the thing, so it means a lot to me. But the game itself is kind of based off of a certain interpretation of mythology that kind of has to do with the human interaction with story. And just how different stories and mythologies kind of help us put ourselves into relation to the world around us and kind of help develop relationships with each other. And I know that this band, a lot of what we wanted to do was kind of tell these stories that were very
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we sing about, most people wouldn't really want to talk about in casual conversation, but it's very important. And we kind of frame it in the story medium through music, of course, especially like our first song, Those Suburban Blues, is like the story of this kind of middle-aged man who's just like really not happy with his life. So I thought that the name itself, and it was pretty easy to come up with because I just looked at my arm. I'm like, hey, let's do that. But also it really has a lot of meaning to myself personally, but what we're going for as a band.
Yeah.
And if I could interject, I also, particularly, we're, as a band, I think, maybe just a little bit left of center. So, for me, also just the terminology has a history in America of fellow travelers, and just sort of, this idea that, we're here, we're putting a face to, the message, but, if you're not in that position, it's okay to be a sort of nameless, but come along with us, be a fellow traveler with us, even if you're not the sort of person who really wants to put the face to it.
All right, this is a fun one because it's something that I think we both support. Jeremy, you have an interesting shirt that you're wearing. Can you tell me about your Angry Cat shirt?
This one right here? Yeah, not the flannel we're talking about. Well, it's Lou Meth. He's a local artist in the area, rapper, entrepreneur, cartoonist, storyteller. And I've, Lou and I have become good friends through another series that's the Unscripted and Friends. He is definitely one of the friends of the Unscripted, where we similarly, have a live band supporting a local MCs, and I don't know if that's particularly how you identify as an artist, but and it's and I told him that I was we as the Nameless Travelers were doing a Riverwest session. I said I really want to just support local arts and local business, and so I went out and I sent him a message on the Face Space and said, hey, I want one of your T-shirts. How much does it cost? Let me buy one, support your art. I want to sport it while I'm doing my art. And, he's just an excellent person. I think you know him too.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I've gone to the Unscripted. I think it's really cool. It's a really cool event. Just people kind of, it's essentially like a jam session.
Yeah.
And MCs are encouraged to just get up and, literally riff, freestyle the same way a jazz person would. And I know that's part of like why you appreciate an event like the Unscripted, because you can just improv and all of that. And there's rappers who are really good at that. Meth is he's like one of the best I've seen at it. So that's cool. Yeah.
He'll go 20 minutes straight without taking a breath.
Yeah, and he's just like talking about stuff in the room, or you know what I mean? Like it's like definitely he didn't sit at home and write it and then show up with that memorize. It's like no, he's making that up as he goes along, and I've always respected that. And Unscripted is a great event that people should check out as well. Nice, and thank you for explaining about Angry Cat.
Absolutely.
Yes, I pray to a higher power. Stop praying on the world. But my prayers aren't being answered, so I don't think I'll pray anymore. Let's say hypothetically and maybe heretically that I am just incapable of a lie. You call me a heathen, could not believe it. Thoughts and prayers would involve. Pray to a higher power. Stop praying on the world.